What's going on, everybody? I'm going to be reviewing Jupiter's Legacy, the newest show on Netflix. Honestly, I did not have much expectation for the show when I saw it. I knew it was coming. I remember when they were talking, because I'm a fan of Mark Millar. He wrote the Jupiter's Legacy. One of my favorite things Mark Millar's ever written was Kick-Ass. And now Kick-Ass has some similarities to Jupiter's Legacy because it's a deconstruction story. If you don't know what a deconstruction superhero story is, it's where it takes heroes that we've always looked up to, like Superman and Batman, and it kind of tears them apart, and it makes us wonder why we like these characters in the first place. Now, what he did with Jupiter's Legacy is he makes us wonder about Superman's code in why is he so, why is it what, and Batman has the same code too. It's where, like, we could, there's some bad people on the planet that it would be a lot easier if we, played Judge, Jury, and Executioner, like the Punisher. But like Superman would always say, is that's taking the easy way out. And absolutely, that is taking the easy way out. But back on my point about the Jupiter's Legacy, I think I was surprised how good it was, because it came out of nowhere. Like, I knew it was coming, but I didn't expect it to be so enamored. And what happens is when the show starts is we get introduced to Paragon, who is the son of the main character. Josh Duhamel is this character named the Utopian, who is Superman. But he looks like this kind of like super Jesus, he looks like Santa Claus on steroids. He looks like, but you gotta get over that, because I think this is probably like one of Josh Duhamel's best things I've ever seen him in. Everything I ever watched him in, I'm always like, you could do better. You could do better than this. Like, you could do better than romantic comedies. And he this is probably like he's gonna look back and like people are gonna be like, this is what he's probably gonna be like. Yeah, he was in Jupiter's Legacy. Oh yeah, that was awesome. 8 episodes, not terrible. Listen, compared to some shows where it's 22 episodes of filler and maybe like a 5-minute fight scene at the like cheap effects. I thought the effects in Jupiter's Legacy was, there's not a lot of fighting. I think that's why it's getting a lot of kind of criticism on how long and talky it is. It's a talky show. But let's get into the main storyline of the show. So there's 2 storylines where we go back to the 1920s with Josh Duhamel's character, the Utopian, before he comes to the Utopian, and he's this kind of it's the stock market crashes and his dad kills himself, so he's got he's got to do something crazy, and he starts having visions, and he sees himself going on a boat trip in the middle of nowhere, and they all think he's insane. And but he manages to get his friends and his brother out into the middle of the ocean. But while this origin story is going on, we also had the modern story of Josh Duhamel, his character, the Utopian, and Lady Liberty, and his kids have superpowers too, and we kind of have to like he's everything's falling apart in the future. Another interesting aspect to Jupiter's Legacy is that I feel like Jupiter's Legacy achieves a lot of ideas that the Justice League failed to. Zack Snyder's Justice League. I feel like a lot of what Zack Snyder was going for, a lot of the edginess, a lot of the darkness, it gets kind of it pales into contrast into how deep that Mark Millar's ideas surpasses. Like I'm pretty sure Zack Snyder is looking at this show, and he's like, "Oh, I was going for that. I was going for this." I mean, but like the problem was he was taking too long, and he obviously if he didn't have so much slow mo and kind of worked on the depth of his movie instead of all the slow mo, we would have got to some of these ideas about Superman's code and about how his kill code and what's the meaning of it. Because honestly, I don't know where I stand on that. It's a gray area because you got to wonder if Batman just got rid of the Joker. I mean, how many people would have been saved compared to being locked up, wet out, killed some more, locked up, got out, killed some more, locked up. If he punished him, but there's this code, and that's what his son, the Paragon, struggles with because I'll spoil it. Okay, so the end of the first episode, there's this big fight, and it just looks like they're fighting a Thanos level guy named Black Star, and the Union, they're the Justice League of this universe, the Jupiter's Legacy winners. It's the Superman, it's the Utopian, and Lady Liberty, who's the Wonder Woman, and Paragon, who's like Superboy, and this Black Star, who's like Thanos or Darkseid, and he starts killing off people on the team. He rips this girl's head off, and he blows this guy apart. Some of the more Teen Titan level people that aren't essential to the story. But then he starts beating on the mains, and then it looks like he's gonna win, and you're like, oh man, what are they gonna do? I'm like, you gotta do it. And sure enough, Paragon, the Utopian son, he comes up, Superman punches Black Star in the face, knocking his head off. It was awesome, and he's like, but because he was gonna go nuclear, he was gonna blow up the whole state, and you're like, and my favorite part is Utopian gets up and he's like, "What'd you do?" And he just saved you, but it was good. The TV show was good. I mean, it keeps it interesting, even though that was the best fight of the series so far, and then the rest of the show was kind of build up, and then we're probably gonna have to wait to next season for another big fight. I think if people give it a chance, they're gonna like it, and I give the series a must watch. It's a must watch TV show if you like superheroes. If you're burnt out, if you're absolutely burnt out on superheroes, which is bad news because I think we're gonna get a lot of superhero stuff. I think we're gonna get a lot of superhero stuff because considering there's the DC and Marvel, if you can't. what the one of the things I didn't like the boy like with the boys is I think it was being too it was the wrong side of the deconstructionism. It was just kind of like, yeah, this is dumb. We're in tights. This is dumb. The whole thing's dumb, and let's just have fun, and yeah, it's all goofy, dumb fun. And I think what Jupiter's Legacy does is what, there's something here. This is serious, and there's stories behind these characters. They have morals, they have codes, and there's reason behind that. And there's lore, there's history, and that's all built up. And comics go back. They call it the Golden Age, and we're in a like it makes the whole thing feel like a new renaissance.